Wislawa Szymborska's poem, The End and the Beginning, originally referred to as Konik I Poczytek, was first published in the year 1993. Through this poem, Szymborska paints a grim and dreary picture of everyday life in a post-war world. In her unusually ordinary words, she introduces the idea of how at the end of one war, there begins another equally grave but a rather silent, unaccounted war for those who are left behind. This harsh and jarring reality of the new mundane systematically unfolds in this poem. Time and time again, the poet addresses the traumatic and devastating impacts that any war has on people's lives. She elaborates on how these consequences are long-lasting and affect the quality of life for generations to come. There is a whiff of chaos, unrest, turmoil, and agitation that firmly hangs on to every word uttered by her. After the end of every war, native people have to work hard to clean the mess and ruins caused due to this violent business. People must clean the roads blocked by rubble so that the vehicles carrying corpses can pass through. Someone has to work through sludge and pick all the trash, including sofas, shards of glasses, blood-stained rags. Weak and damaged walls need to be repaired and the windows need new glass to be fitted into it. The doors have to be set back into its frame. During the war and just after it, a lot of media coverage reached the region so as to make an exclusive story out of this and show the situation to the outer world. As there is a universal fact that negativity gets the maximum attention, so media channels use the ongoing affairs to build their audience base. But when the war ends, then the media cold-shouldered the region, and since then there is no photoshoot, no stuttering sound. According to the poet, all the media have now gone to cover some other war. The damage done to the infrastructure, i.e. bridges, railway station, is enormous, and people have to roll sleeves of their shirt to work hard to rebuild all the above. Due to this work, their shirt would be torn away and turn into shreds. One individual with a broom in his hands wonders about the time before the war when everything was fine and stable. Another one listens to the conversation and nods. But most of the people were bored of heeding to implications of war. Many times, someone raises a buried topic or argument from the past and then leave it incomplete. People who are aware of the real causes of war must enlighten other people who know little or nothing about it. Someone would lie in the grass which cover up the real reason for which the war took place. With a cornstalk, a stem of corn plant, in his mouth, he would stare at moving clouds. Szymborska's poetry is rife with social and political commentary, centering around the lives of everyday citizens. The End and the Beginning serves as a prime example of Szymborska's fixation with the domestic, shedding light on the traumas experienced by post-war populations. The Polish history of World War II into the age of Stalinism was another major influence on Szymborska's work, as it was World War II that halted her education as a young adult, entirely altering the landscape of her everyday life. The End and the Beginning is a unique addition to the established genre of war poetry, examining war from the perspective of everyday citizens as opposed to soldiers in the heat of combat. Szymborska's poem adds a necessary female voice into an otherwise male-dominated genre and reveals that war does not end when the last battle is fought. Instead, war continues the cycle of violence in its aftermath.